hai dormito tanto? Mm? Sentivo niente, sono venuta qua a vedere perché ho detto ma voglio vedere che stia bene o che non sia lì sveglia a contemplare il mondo. Infatti eri qua a ciucciarti il pollice, goderti il tuo lettino, il nostro lettino. Sentivi la voce della mamma e del papà di là. Sta bene amore fare i covini? Sì.
Hello! Well, today is another beautiful sunny day, 22 degrees C. I've just dropped off Rossella and Emma into Strood in the car so that they can go and have a few hours walking around outside the boat, and hopefully they'll have a nice time together. And I am about to replace our batteries. Batteries for us are very important because we love to spend long periods at anchor, and we're going to be replenishing the energy used with solar panels mostly, but it's no good in having 400 watts of solar like we're going to have if you don't have the storage capacity to make use of that. So I spent a lot of time online looking into this. Basically, you've got from the lowest end of the market, you've got the cheapest batteries that you can buy, generally lead acid, and a lot of the time the charging cycles for them, you can have 70 charging cycles is the lifespan of the battery. So if you completely top it up and then discharge it completely, you can only do that 70 times before the battery starts to die. At the top end of the market, you've got lithium batteries, lithium ion, which are very, very expensive, very good batteries. You can have 2,000 discharge cycles with those kind of batteries, but you're talking about over £1,000 per battery, so that's way above our budget. We got ours from a place called alphabatteries.co.uk. There's no affiliation whatsoever there. It's just they provide good information about discharge cycles especially, and they've got good prices too, so we ended up buying from them. We went for AGM batteries in the end, which are absorbed glass mat. So between the plates of the batteries, you've got, rather than just a liquid as you have in lead acid batteries, you've got a glass fibre effectively matting, and the electrolyte is kind of held in position by that. These have much better performance and last a lot longer. So the batteries that we bought have got 600 discharge cycles. That's a huge increase in performance on the cheapest batteries, and they weren't much more expensive at all. So we definitely think that it was a good decision. We ended up buying 4 of these Adventurer AGM batteries, 110 amp hour, and they can be installed in any orientation. You don't have to worry about them being moved around. They're relatively easy to carry. I believe they're 20 kilos or 19 kilos each, which is much more manageable than some of the competitors out there. And they also come with removable posts, so you can have standard battery posts like that, or you can have removable bolt-in connection points, so that should help with the installation. These are maintenance-free batteries. You don't ever have to check the level of or top up the electrolyte, and given that they've got 600 discharge cycles, they should last a very long time. This is our engine start battery, and then these are our 2 old house batteries, the white-topped batteries that you can see there. These are 110 amp hours, the same as these. So if you look at the difference in size, these are just wet cell batteries, flooded cell. The advance in technology is quite significant. This is much, much smaller, and it weighs a lot less than the old batteries. So rather than put them lengthways, I've measured up, and we should be able to put these widthways, which means we can get the 4 in, hopefully, quite easily here. Christopher, that would have been an expensive mistake. Obviously, while you're doing this, you have to be careful not to cross any of the battery posts with metallic tools, otherwise you could cause an explosion. So I'm being very careful not to do that. I'm also going to disconnect the battery charger shortly before I go any further, once I've got these loosened. Okay, this is the potentially dangerous bit if you're not careful. So I have disconnected shore power so that the battery charger is no longer charging the batteries. The drop in voltage there has also separated these batteries from the engine start battery, because on this boat we have a battery separator fitted. So when charging is taking place from any charging source, it links the two battery banks together. So they are now disconnected, and I've also turned off the battery switches on the boat, so there's no demand on here now. And basically what we need to do, we've got voltage here. This has just come off the charger, so it's 12.84 volts there, whereas on the good battery, the new battery, which is the engine start there, that's 13.44 volts, because that's a good battery. These ones are already dropping down the voltage quickly because they're not so good. So 12.84 there, and they will drop down quite quickly. What I need to do is disconnect both negative leads, because if I disconnect just one, now I'm being careful here, if these touch we could have problems, so I'm being careful that they don't. If I disconnect this negative lead and measure the voltage, we still have voltage there because they're connected together. So what I need to do is very carefully remove the two negative posts here, and now if I carefully measure the voltage, obviously there's nothing between the two negatives. If I go negative to positive, we've got just a small residual voltage there which is dropping down. That's from electronic equipment that's connected at the other end, but that is dropping down there, 6.1 volts. If I just keep this on there, that'll discharge it. There, that's 1.5 volts. So if I drop these down out of the way now, and there we've just got that 1 volt residual there, voltage. It's nothing to worry about. I'm then free to disconnect the positives. Okay, I can now remove these two big batteries. And with this being lead acid batteries, I have to also be careful now about acid spillage. For the extra 2 minutes it took me, I decided to remove the engine start battery as well. There's nothing wrong with that, I'm not replacing it, but it gives me an opportunity to get into this area and give it a good clean with a hoover. Well, Rosella's just called to say that they're ready to come back to the boat, so the boat isn't really ready to receive them yet, unfortunately, but such is life. I'm going to go and get them now, so let's go and have a bit of a drive in the sunshine. Had a nice day today, being out and about in the sunshine.
Yes, we did.
Wow, grass. Well, I've put the new batteries in place provisionally. They're not fixed down yet. I didn't mention one of the reasons I spent so much time online looking at different options was also due to size. Lots of the batteries that I saw were too big to be conveniently fitted onto this boat. So I chose these ones, which are very compact, and I've even got the option of closing the seat down here and it fits even with the cables on top. So I shouldn't have any issues with fitting these. I've also seen that I can use the original tie down blocks. I'm going to put one at each end, one here, one at the other side, and that leaves me 6 for these 4 batteries. So I can put one that bridges these 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be 8 blocks in total to secure these 4 batteries, and I've got another 2 here to secure the engine start battery. So that's very convenient. I don't have to worry about any other hardware to fix these in position. I will need to buy 2 additional sets of battery terminals to connect the 2 new batteries into the system, but I've seen that I've got enough cable length there that I can chop this off as necessary to fit the new terminals, so that's handy. I don't need to buy any more cable. This is quite heavy gauge cable, so it would be expensive. However, we are going in the water in a few days' time, so for now I'm going to secure the batteries into place, and then I'm only going to connect the outer 2 batteries. The other 2 will just be sitting there for now until I get to buy some new terminals. These small wooden brackets are a very simple but effective way of securing the batteries. They've just got a rebated edge there that engages with the base of the battery, and then they just screw down into the plywood panel underneath the batteries. These screws are self-tapping, so it really is quite simple and straightforward to do this. I'm just rearranging the cables. I'm going to refit them to the batteries. While I'm doing that, I'm cleaning up the battery terminals. Some people use grease on here. I don't believe in that. I think they're better dry, but you do want a nice shiny inner surface to make a good electrical contact with the battery post. So I've got some sandpaper here, and I'll just clean that up. There we go, nice and shiny. Well, we have a beautiful sunny day today. It's glorious. 25 degrees Celsius, which I looked for our American friends and cousins earlier. That's 82 degrees Fahrenheit. So for the start of May, that's pretty incredible. So lots of things going on today, little things. We have the washing machine on again. We'll do a review about that actually shortly, because it's been very useful for us having a baby on board the boat. Creates lots of washing. Other things I've been doing, because we're nearly splashing, which is really exciting now, so I'm doing lots of the little things that you have to do before that. I'm sorting out mooring lines now, and I'm going through lockers such as this. I've been measuring out the mooring lines that we've got, marking up the lengths of them, so we know what we've got and we can find it immediately whenever we're looking for something. And yeah, so just kind of organising things, getting ready to go in the water. Hello.
Hello.
What's going on here?
Relaxing in the sunshine.
Oh, hello Emma. Hiya darling. You've been sunbathing.
Yes, been loving it.
Have you? And you've been listening to the birdies tweeting.
Now she's getting tired, probably ready for the bath.
Yeah. Gonna have a bath, Emma?
Splish, splash, splish, splash.
Yay! Bath time.
Wow.
You enjoyed the sunshine? Have you?
Yes.
Look at these little arms, they're gorgeous, aren't they? And have you enjoyed your chill time, Rob?
Yeah, very, very nice and relaxing. To stay for, what, half an hour probably, maybe a bit more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
40
relaxing.
minutes. Yeah, Rosella's been working very, very hard. I feel bad for how much she's doing on the boat, because usually I like to pitch in with everything, you know, cooking, washing up and stuff. We tend to divide everything so that it's not just one person's responsibility. But here, I'm so busy on the boat, I don't have any time to dedicate to doing anything else. So Rosella has picked up the slack, and you're working very hard, aren't you?
Yeah, that was all right. Soon I'm going to be in the water,
We
hopefully.
are. Yippee! In the water, splish splash, a big splish
That's a big
splash.
splish splash.
Splosh.
Emma, she's been improving a lot since what, a few days? She's just starting sitting up by herself.
Yeah.
And now she's like,
Look how good you are now, Emma.
I don't know, a master? Can you say master? She's a master?
Yeah.
Wow.
You're a sitting up expert now, aren't you, darling?
Still a bit of practice. But she's very
Weebles
good.
wobble, but they don't fall down.
Hoppala. Oh.
Good girl. You'll be crawling next, won't you? Oh my goodness. That'll be a lot of hard work.
Well, it's going to be fun, is it?
Yes, it is. Oh, yeah, I want that microphone, don't you? Every time you want the microphone, the big fluffy microphone.
Splash, 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 splash.
Wow, lucky you. I'd love to have a bath in the boat. That's so convenient. You don't even have to walk to get there. Splish, splash, splish, splash. Oh. Well, today's been a very busy day. Lots of bits and bobs for both Rosella and myself. And we're about to finish the day with something a little bit unusual.
Yeah, an experiment.
Some purple pasta. Mmm.